Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
What's up, guys? GP here, back with another episode of the Peach Chronicles. It's been a minute. I had to take a little bit of a break. I traveled some, but I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to be back with one of my favorite episodes. The name of this episode is Alligator Man. It is featuring Cat Williams, so I am very excited to get into it. Let's get it done.
I'm finna quit his job off for one little weak ass mixtape.
Nigga lame. You wanna be somebody so bad.
Why is it bad to want to be somebody for real? Like, I don't understand that. This is definitely a mentality that some people have. Definitely people who be sitting around playing video games midday, stuff like that. Sometimes. I mean, obviously people have days off. I'm just talking shit. I'm just saying, like, when did it become a bad thing to want to be something so bad? An artist, a businessman, an athlete. How is that lame? Maybe I've outgrown that mindset. I don't think I really ever had that mindset. But if somebody has that mindset around you, you need to run away as quickly as you can.
Another 7 numbers winning. Go to number 17, hook you over the 8th.
I love creative weed ventures. They're starting to go away because of the legality. Obviously, they're still available some places, but like, to be serving out of your job essentially at a fast food restaurant like this, there are places like this still, absolutely, and you never believe it. I have been to many makeshift dispensaries in my day, and you never believe that they're going to exist. You never believe they're going to be what people say they are. They're always sketchy until you pull up and find out for yourself, and then it still may be sketchy. So this is how Donald Glover starts the season. Just with the most idiotic scene. And maybe this is just me from my perspective, but just the most idiotic scene. Bro, just like, what the fuck is going on? First off, why would you go order such a complex order if you knew you were about to just rob the spot?
2-piece, all dark, a side of Cajun rice. You get that side of fried okra too.
You're not going to eat the food. Get whatever in a number 17. That's the first thing that I'm wondering. Second, that is just the stupidest way to rob him, is to climb through the window. First off, he busts before he just pulled up out of the car, shot immediately. Could have killed somebody right there. So obviously he's risking his life by jumping into the window, but he's also about to murder somebody. And at the end of the day, bro, they're trying to steal weed. Just idiots. And what I just saw, he might have got $400 worth of weed. Risked his life, risked murdering somebody else. She's covered in blood, so somebody in the car is shot. And they pulled up with other people and tried to rob it for $400 worth of weed. And this is just another scene. I don't remember all the details from the last season now in terms of what episode whatever happened. But this is just another example of anything can happen. So anything could happen when they pulled up. There's a place, like a fast food place selling weed. Anything could happen when somebody's about to go in and rob you for the weed because you're in the drug game now. Anything could happen when the dude behind the counter has an automatic assault rifle and he's shooting at you. Anything could happen. Now that you've been robbed, you can't really call the police, and you may have just murdered somebody over some weed. Like, from both sides. Like, if you're getting robbed like that, let them go, for real. It's not worth risking your life over some weed. And definitely not shooting into a car like that when they've already shown their license plate. They're fucked. They're gonna get caught. God, it's just so much. It's just so much foolishness and life risking for nothing. It's almost like a hard scene for me to watch, if I'm being real.
Know you in here. They coming today.
That doesn't mean you get to take my shit.
So Ern's gig is up. He can't stay in the storage container anymore. And the dude just knew he had the power over him. He knew he couldn't hold on to all that stuff, move it all. So the dude just started taking it. and they've known he's in there. They just allowed him to do it for a certain amount of time, and now they're about to kick him out. So any good feelings he had at the end of last season are just ruined immediately at the beginning of season 1. The beginning of season 2, excuse me.
Be careful. Very, very cold.
Only Darius is the dude to say it's very, very cold when it's a meat involved in the sandwich. I mean, a burger at the end of the day. But he's kind for allowing you to realize, like, before I bite into this is a cold hamburger.
What's going on with you and Darius?
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, what's up, Regina?
My name's Tara.
So, in this scene, Ern's obviously trying to figure out what's going on between Paperboy and Darius, because they're usually cool. Like, the tension is different than what's usually going on in the crib. One of Paperboy's women comes over, brings him some food. Ern messes up her name. She doesn't. She wants to know who the woman is that he confuses with her. He tries to talk himself out of it. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, I don't think, to Paperboy or Ern. But Ern is trying to be the adult and be like, hey, yo, like, we all good at the end of the day. Or, like, I don't know what's going on with y'all, but, like, we still all together type shit. It's his job to kind of keep the group together. But it doesn't come across the right way, I don't think.
I don't know what's going on with you two, but I love you both.
Nigga, what?
Darius seems like somebody whose mind is so chaotic that music would put him or them at ease. It doesn't surprise me at all that is Darius's music choice.
Florida Man is responsible for a large percentage of abnormal incidents that occur in Florida. Think of him as an alt-right Johnny Appleseed. No one knows his true identity. That's why headlines always say Florida Man.
Like, there's so many levels to a conversation with Darius. So after he doesn't want to talk about what's going on with Paperboy, he asks Ern how his parents are doing, which is a very kind thing to do. Most people won't really ask you how your parents are doing unless they've met your parents. Darius doesn't even really know Ern's parents, and he's still asking about them. He says they're going to a funeral for my uncle that's dying in Florida, and instead of asking or saying anything about the dying uncle, he goes straight to telling him about Florida Man, and then comes up, or just in the script, a wild Florida Man story, because we all know about Florida Man, like all the different headlines, but Darius takes it another angle, saying that all of the stories are one man, and it's just Florida Man. It's just intertwining of kindness, hyperbole almost, and just insanity. Or maybe just flat out being wrong. I don't know, but it's a roller coaster every time Darius speaks.
You wanna turn that music back on?
Yes.
I like how Ern respects Darius's car. Ern don't want to listen to that music, but he actually does want to listen to anything but Darius talk. I think he realizes. And also, it's Darius's car, so he has the right to play whatever he wants.
Would I even have to show up for these classes if I paid for the whole thing in full?
You can't, so let's not.
It is very expensive to get in trouble, and I think he does a great job of showing why in this. Because the government, when they get you in trouble, and especially because most people that are in trouble are already broke, they'll break your legs. If you're already hobbling a little bit, they'll break your legs. $375 for a joint, you know, and a lot of people would be like, the joint's not worth it. But there's so many ways that you get in trouble this way. And not only that, if he pays the full $375 and gets arrested again, he goes to jail. If he misses one of these payments, he goes to jail. If he has weed in his system, he goes to, like, they could get the money and send him to jail easily. Like, it's a trap. And they're so rude because they're dealing with jail people all day long. So you kind of understand why a clerk or somebody in the probation office like her would be mean like that. And also just like curt. Like, because they don't really have time to mess around because we're running so many of our citizens in and out of jail.
What flavor is a Flamin' Hot Cheeto? Hot.
Another one of the questions, like last season, he had a few different questions like this. I've wanted to highlight them. Just, is Vin Diesel black? That was one of them. He has some, in like most episodes, one character has a deep thinking, clearly Donald Glover question that he just throws into the script. And for this one, and they all are like decently valid questions. And then Darius quickly answers hot. Like no thought given.
I am tasting hot.
Robin season. Christmas approaches, everybody gotta eat.
So people in Atlanta, I guess around the country, evidently in America, because of capitalism and because how we trying to keep up with everybody, it's predictable when stuff happens. Like even how people talk about don't go out New Year's, don't go out July 4th. But leading up to Christmas, like they're saying, people trying to buy gifts, people trying to keep up with their neighbors, people trying to buy possessions. Now with Amazon Prime Day and Black Friday and all that stuff that happens pre-Christmas, people got to eat. I think this is one of those times when Earn realizes how much managers have to do. A lot of times, especially when you're working for a hood dude, like you're going to have to handle stuff that a normal manager might not have to handle because Paperboy's into and has family members and has all this stuff that's involved in stuff that normal managers wouldn't usually have to handle. You could tell by how Earn paused and Paperboy asked, though, that he's not really trying to go in there. He knows what'll be happening when you go to Uncle Willy's crib.
The vibes here are just so intense.
Did he happen to mention to you that thieving, raggedy bitch stole $50 out of my pocket while I was asleep? I must have kidnapped that bitch in 1974, because she ain't been a kid in 45 years.
How do you keep a straight face? How did Donald Glover keep a straight face when Cat Williams said that shit? She ain't been a kid in 45 years.
I would say nice to meet you, but I don't believe in time as a concept, so I'll just say we always met.
Darius be feeling the energy with other people, and he be like, this is a kindred spirit. It has nothing to do with anything else, but he's crazy. It's like I get what he's saying, but it was saying these things in normal conversation is absolutely insane.
Thank Alfred.
I think this kind of just shows what money you have to spend when you're the breadwinner of your family. And just stuff that you just can't account for. You can't account for a fake kidnapping when she probably did steal his money, when there's an alligator in the house, in the backwoods country area of wherever you're from, and you have to use your money to solve this ridiculous issue. I think they're really showing that at a high level. Not to mention he's using his manager's time to solve this problem. And it is his cousin also his uncle. So it's family, but at the end of the day, it's Paperboy's money that's solving the problem.
We're not domestic, we're not even married.
That is not how domestic works. Like, in this situation, the woman's okay, he's okay. The police should leave. That's why, like, with the neighbor calling the police like escalates issues. There's no reason for them to be there. They're actually nobody is in danger.
You don't live here, I'm fucking the bitch, that's the deal. Just leave me alone, won't be no game.
We'll shoot your goddamn alligator.
Well, do it, I wanna see it.
This nigga got a full-grown caiman.
Why does Darius know what type of alligator it is? These are the type of things that I hear that's like genius writing and really describing Darius's character, and somebody who's kind of crazy but in depth knows some things. If you showed me any alligator, I might mess around and accidentally call it a crocodile. Obviously, I know if we're in a certain region, I know it's only an alligator, but there's no way I'd be able to identify the type of alligator. This man Darius is literally just along for the ride in life.
You homeless, Ern. You don't even have a mirror to look at yourself.
Good God. Like, I'm not going to be able to put everything I want in this episode, but you're homeless. You don't have a mirror to look at yourself, and this nigga Ern's giving him advice. Like, Cat Williams is writing these lines for sure. I believe definitely that Donald Glover made the framework of this episode, but when it came to Cat, they collaborated. And the fact that he knows about Florida Man too, and how crazy he is, and that he knows about him from that perspective, shows how he's really just maybe potentially an older version of Darius.
I'm not Florida, man.
So the story gets deeper. Not only did Paperboy have to pay for the situation for her and him to work it out, he owns the house. So Paperboy's got a lot of shit like going on. That's why he's still living kind of meekly. He bankrolls a lot of people. He bankrolls Earn. He bankrolls Darius already. He bankrolls his uncle, who has his girl staying with him from time to time, clearly. And himself, if I didn't count that.
He's Mr. Moneybag, because you find out family is business.
This episode, like, it's like he started catching his groove at the end of season 1. There's so much in this episode. Because Kat is describing the reality of what Earn has to do, because he does have to take care of this stuff. But in this situation, Earn's like, you're actually my family too. And I used to live here. Like, I know you. Like, they know each other well.
What I'm scared of is being you. Someone everybody knew was smart, but ended up being a know-it-all fuck-up Jay.
And then Earn tells the truth, kind of. Because part of it, Cat Williams is definitely right. He does have to do Paperboy's bidding. But also Earn's right in terms of he's doing this because he cares at the end of the day. If this had really just been one of Paperboy's family member and it was just because of Paperboy, he probably would have been left. This is a dangerous situation for him.
Vibe here is just feeling more and more like jail.
Darius knows when to dip. He's a smart dude.
Get rid of that chip on your shoulder shit. It's not worth the time.
He gave him some great advice. Because Ernest for sure had the chip on his shoulder, and we don't really find out why until like the whole next couple seasons as they unravel his full character. But his uncle gets it, and his uncle sees what he was talking about. They have an understanding with each other, and also he knows that pistol is probably the main thing that could get him in a bad enough trouble to where Paperboy really has to pay to bail him out and for his court fees and stuff like that. And he's on Paperboy's bankroll.
What's up? Yeah.
That's how niggas make up right there. Niggas have been beefing, just needed a little bit of time apart. He smoked some weed, offer him some weed, they cool again.
You better get rid of that gun, nigga.
And introduce Tracy, the only nigga crazier than Darius. Tracy is a ridiculous character.
Wait, Erd, you good?
So Darius really likes some all jokes aside shit. You alright, bro? Darius a real one. Always is.
Yeah, I'm good.
Part of that, I feel like, is he doesn't want them to lose too much confidence in him. Just how they view him. So he's kind of playing it off like he's okay, even though everybody knows that he's not. And some of it might be him personally, like, I don't feel like I could be a manager or manage this shit if I'm not on my own 2 feet at all. Because he could have just slept on the floor there at the end of the day. It's cold outside. He just showed with the XL. It get cold in Atlanta. I think he'll be alright. That was episode 1 of season 2. The Alligator Man. Or Alligator Man. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. Got a lot more episodes to do. I'll see you guys next time.
550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me.